Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse. Today, Wednesday, November 12th, 2025. Now, we covered this trial in which BNP Paribas, major French bank, was found liable for having assisted genocide in Sudan, where there's another genocide going on. But today, BNP is trying to get that verdict essentially undone. They're focusing on what they call misconduct by one of the many plaintiff's lawyers on the case. Now, some of the other plaintiff lawyers have disassociated themselves and said, yes, Ms. Boyd did these things, but it didn't affect the trial in any way. Ms. Boyd is trying to strike BNP's thing. And my take on it is that BNP, which saw, it was a trial that, although it was right here in SDNY, few covered. We did cover it and wrote a book about it called Banking on Dictators. But after the fact, it resulted in a massive fall of BNP's stock price, whereupon the business media was like, uh-oh, we screwed up. So now everyone's all over it, but by coming in at this stage, they're basically backing up BNP to say it was a bad verdict brought by a bad plaintiff's lawyer. She wasn't really in charge anymore at the time of the trial. Anyway, we'll be covering that and be on the lookout for that. Now, the book, Banking on Dictators, was actually taken temporarily offline between October 24th and the 30th because of a complaint without any due process about a Ghislaine Maxwell book called Maxwell. Well, we have an update on that. Today, this morning, because there's news about Maxwell, we looked for that. And we had put it up on X, Threads, and Blue Sky. And there it was on X, the censorship alert, which we since updated because most books were restored, except for the ebook on Maxwell and something about Diddy Sean Combs. But it was there on Blue Sky. Threads took it down. Threads censored a thread about censorship. It's about Ghislaine Maxwell. You can look at it. We've pinned it. I think there's an explanation, not just an explanation. I think it's particularly problematic when a platform, without explanation or even notice, takes down a post about censorship, about a topic that's in the news. It's not working there. Zuck. In any case, on the financial front, since we've turned the corner, there's a lot going on. We've challenged commented on the closure of 51 branches by Toronto Dominion, but also Union Bank of Switzerland, UBS. They want to move to the United States. Of course, they have a long history not only of money laundering, but also of supporting some pretty horrendous regimes and the subprime crisis. So issues have been raised to both the Fed and to the OCC where they're seeking to convert to a national bank. We'll just see. We'll see what's happening. United Nations, here we have a funeral that we'll show some respect for. We'll turn it around, actually. You can see the guys. There's a band. There's two dueling funeral parlors on Mulberry Street. The first one has the best music, in any event. The UN, yesterday we did actually cover live the Security Council meeting on South Sudan. Not surprisingly, they were totally ill-informed. Several members of the council said that they fully support the active work of Nicholas Haysom, Antonio Guterres' representative in South Sudan, except that the guy hasn't been in South Sudan in months. They don't even know that. All of them, many of the members, including the P3, all denounced the government of South Sudan for questioning the mission. Well, the mission is full of favoritism, corruption, so it's not surprising that the government there has said, stop flying spy helicopter flights. There's no oversight of the people given absolute immunity, and that's the problem. And that's back to the Threads thing, too. We're going in to cover things, but expect to hear more on all of this. Inner City Press.